the underground let loose. Let's see how good you do in the daylight. What's up now? I'm like,
I know what you're thinking, and you're wrong. I'm cosplaying as Sunny's car. Please, no attack helicopter jokes.
First, I'm gonna take your ride, then I'm gonna take your girl. Get ready for that.
Get ready, get set, let's roll. Burn rubber in a bit of petrol. Red, yellow, hit green and gold. Breathing slow.
Most Wanted 2005, Kuro's favorite game, I suppose. Need for Speed got a major revamp with the Underground sub-series, with tuner racing culture translated to video games very well, albeit with some drawbacks. But Black Box wanted to go back to cop chases ever since the development of the Underground 1. But due to the difficulties such as licensees like Honda not wanting their cars being chased at the time, they had to wait and wait until they somewhat perfected the free roaming aspect. And then the teaser went up. Did you know that the beam was gonna be red at one point? Despite being out a year after UG2, development was longer and in between, so they kinda had time to polish while doing the latter, although that involved a lot of crunch. Despite that, it was released in every system imaginable at the time, including the Xbox 360 as a launch title. I'll be playing the PC version, but it's largely the same as the home console versions, just with graphical changes. Although the 360 version is the best looking one, but with mods you can make the PC port look as good as that. Honestly, I never cared much about opening FMVs, aside from Gran Turismo and Metal Gear Solid. It's just a cop chase full of crazy shit, but the only thing missing is hot action cop blasting in the background. Sorry, but not as good as Underground. The title screen though? And when you open up the menu the first time? Why do these remixes sound better than the original? While I'm playing the dirtier version, the game actually uses a cleaner version, much like Hot Action Cops' 2 songs in Hot Pursuit 2. Here's a snippet.
The more beef, the better. Sound gay, but you all wanna sleep together. Okay.
No wonder it got cleaner here. At least there's no empty spaces like some rap songs in the franchise. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm gonna name my new profile as Letitia, and that's not my demon's request, and start a new career. Are you starting to like me? Barely. So the game starts with a race between your M3 GTR and Race's Mustang.
How's your car running?
I wonder if it's foreshadowing anything. A pursuit ensues, but both of you manage to escape, even though that was just a cutscene. And you're off for a while until it hits you with a flashback when you arrive to Warport, as you drive along with a girl named Mia. Then suddenly you got stopped by one of the antagonists of the game, Sergeant Cross. Since you're driving a race car on the streets, they threaten you to crush it. Or at least tear the car apart for searching.
Let me tell you what's about to happen. We're gonna take your car, tear it apart, and see if it's street legal. You know, I'd lay odds that it ain't.
Yeah, they want to crush the car like they imported Skyline. If you're watching this in 2024 or after, you won't get it. Fortunately, they got alerted by the police about a street race going on, so they leave you. For now. Then you scratch the paint of the car. Nah, I said that won't matter. Later, you race against the hosey car running guy, Ronnie. After that easy race, you meet up a bunch of people, mainly Razor.
Yeah, this here is the number 15 guy on the blacklist.
Who rocks a stunning tough look in a tank top style. And why am I included here?
Why don't we save you the grief and peel those parts right now?
Bolt on or not, that ride is hot.
Honestly, the M3 GTR is overrated. This isn't bait, I'm serious. Wish it was Yellow Diablo instead. Yeah, don't bother convincing me otherwise. Don't worry about my lungs. A pale demoness is immune to its side effects. And it seems like the cutscenes went from CGI abominations and comic pages to green screen live action ones. I expect this guy to show up. They're cheesy and they're covered in Vaseline for some reason, and I like it. You race against Toru, aka Bull, which is an introduction to the cop chases. and it forcibly ends after a minute. That was abrupt. Then you kinda meet Raj in your lab race with these other pricks. After that start, Racer suddenly shows up, telling you want your ride, and shows you to her pink slip. Cut to present day.
How's your car running?
I wonder if it's foreshadowing anything. Race, cop chasing between, freeway part. Then Mia calls you that you left an oil slick back there. I wonder who done it. Now your ride belongs to Razor, and everyone laughs at you. Whatever, that car has some weak nitrous reserve anyway. Oh, and no matter if you cross the line and win using cheats, your car still gets towed. King Razor sends his regards. Not until Cross and his partner comes in and arrests you. Sometime later, Mia picks you up and tells you that Razor has reached the #1 spot in the blacklist with your car, so you must do the same to get it back. You drop to a car lot and pick a selection of 4 cars. Well, 3 if you haven't got the Underground 2 sleep bonus, where it gives you an extra 10 grand. What do we have here? The Lexus IS200, the Chevy Cobalt, the Golf GTI, and a Punto. A Punto? That is the stupidest addition to the car list I've ever seen! I'll take it. While Thunder from HG Central,
Excuse me.
the Highway Riders beat the career mode with a Neon in Underground 1, and I mostly beat it with a 206 in Underground 2. Here, for the sake of variety, I'll be driving a few different yet questionable cars in career mode. Plus a Gallardo, because front wheel drive's a bitch. But don't worry, I'll use the Punto at the end. Much like UG2, after you bought your car, you head to the safe house, and Mia tells you more about the blacklist. After that, you're off to the races. The first driver to beat is Sonny with his Golf.
Yeah, this here is the number 15 guy on the blacklist.
To confront a blacklist racer, you must do a number of races and police milestones. For races, this is gonna have circuit races, point sprint races, drag races, knockout. Oh boy, the series is back under a bullshit. Drift and outrun don't return, but there are 2 new types to make up for it. Speed trap races, where you must accumulate as much speed as possible through these coronas. I'm guessing there are speed cameras? My strategy is to use nitrous just as you're about to pass a trap. If you or an opponent passes the finish line first, the other's accumulated speed gets gradually decreased until they finish the race. It's a really fun mode, albeit a bit hard due to the nature of the rubber banding. Then you have toll booths, which is just checkpoint races, pass some toll booths to add time and stuff. Unless it's in the challenge series, they're so easy it's pathetic. For controls, it's quite top notch, a bit similar to UG2 but better, and even sillier. It's quite tight and the cars handle well, even when the cars are bone stock, but not to an extent. Even if it's something like a Gallardo, it will understeer and cause lots of wheel spin at the start, unless it's an all-wheel drive car. Once you upgrade your car around mid-level, it's gonna handle like a champ, so nimble and accurate like a train. It may be hard to master, but damn it, it's still enjoyable fun. There are a few screw-ups like hitting a wall and trying to fix it only gets you to the opposite direction, but it's mostly human error. Okay, sometimes, I'll get there. Nitrous is still there, except instead of doing stunts to replenish, you must get over a certain speed to do so, around 50 to 60 kilometers an hour, meaning you can have double the supply without upgrading. It's still just as useful after a crash of the predecessor though. Not only that, but there's a new feature called Speed Breaker, which can slow time plus gives you better handling, but not like GTA 5. Instead, you drift then it corrects the corner well, as well as adding mass so that you can easily go through roadblocks. Like nitrous, it replenishes when over a speed threshold. So much like Gran Turismo 3, it's pretty much pick up and play. Until... Yes, the cops have returned since Hot Pursuit 2, and they're harder than ever. For one, they actually do chase you and have taxis to stop you like pits, rolling blocks, roadblocks, oncoming SUVs, spike strips, helicopters ramming, the works. There are 5 heats during normal gameplay. At the start of the career, you can only reach to the second one until you've beaten off blacklist racers. Heat 1 is pathetic. There's only like 5 cops at the start and the backup countdown, and most of the time they're so weak and slow. And the backup countdown is the longest, like 3 minutes till reinforcements arrive, and I have to hold them up till then. The problem persists even in higher heats, but the countdown is reduced there. It's not until heat 2 where things start to get serious. The maximum cop count increased by 5 on each heat. Cops get hard to invade, a helicopter shows up by heat 4 and try to invade by the next. There are tactics that make cop chases easy though. There's obviously the speed breaker for use in roadblocks and the pursuit breakers, which will disable a number of running cruisers. Use it sparingly, especially when there's a lot behind you. What else does the game make cop chases entertaining? In career mode, there's these milestones you have to complete in order to defeat the blacklist driver. They range from bounty and cost to state accumulation, passing through a roadblock in spike strips, touching cops or disabling them, getting infractions, surviving a certain amount of time, and escape before time runs out. The last one is really easy if you're in Heat 1. It's really fun until you reach the cooldown stage and you can't find a single cop just to complete this one milestone. These cops sure do fear me. At least evading is a matter of how far you from the cops, instead of this silly Barnhart pursuit too. These milestones also appear in the challenge series, a series of challenges consisting of half teleport races and cop chases. Unlike the career mode where it has multiple chase objectives per blacklist racer plus speed traps around the open world, all of the cop challenges are individual. All of them have a set car to drive, including ones where you drive a cement mixer, cop cars, pizza delivery mobile, and a minivan. What's this, GTA? Man, I'd like to see that kind of stuff again in future NFS titles. Okay, there are some issues like cops going on wrong directions, going through pursuit breakers. It's more nerve-wracking when there's only 1 or 2 cops around you. Now on to the blacklist. There's 15 drivers to beat, including the top one, Razor, to regain your precious Beamer. They have their own sets of challenges, but all you need to worry about is the amount of races you win, milestones you've accomplished, and the total amount of bounty you've accumulated. Once you're done, get to challenge that driver. You must win a set amount of races to progress, so it isn't some tournament buddy. After winning, you get to choose 2 out of 6 markers. The former half consisting of mystery bonuses like pink slips, additional strikes, extra money, etc. While the latter gives you free coupons for parts in the back room, the most special being the junkyard parts. And after that, you're off to the next racer.
This here is the number 15 guy on the blacklist.
From Sunny to Ming, you only have to worry about 2 races per driver, until you reach Webster, which is now free per racer. My god, the races themselves are one of the most stressful in the series. Since there's no difficulty slider anymore, expect some rubber banding and a draft of riot races. Oh god, what a f***ing mess. Since the courses are now full of corners, they feel more like slot cars until they switch sides, and it's full of trial and error. You're gonna hit a traffic car in many tries, and there's gonna be some bullshit like this. Why? I don't like this! And to top it all off, they don't offer you as much money as the rest of the events. Well, they're short races, but I expected more after this insanity. Back to the blacklist, there are some that I had trouble with, like Vic, the number 13 racer. This undulating straight on the last race gets me every time, like I expect Vic to win. But when I recorded this, he just slowed down at the end. Wow, thanks for acting like the AI in big rigs, you d***. And then there's Earl, who sports the early 2018 Sassy style for some reason. Earl is the worst blacklist driver so far in the game. Oh, I really want to punch that f***er. The first race with him is bad but bearable, but the second event makes my blood boil. The damn rubber banding is the worst. If you think hitting into an immovable object was enough, moments later he shows up and steals your position. You can try blocking him, but 8 times out of 10 he will pass you and will never have a chance to pass him again. Easy Intimidator. And after saying that, Dale Hernan is rolling on his grave, but I don't give a shit, because f*** Dale, f*** Earl, and f*** whoever invented rubber banding. They deserve to be burned to hell. And for shits and giggles, I'm forcing Sassy to do the deed instead. Later. What? I got lucky that I only did it once and win this time. It gets me every time whenever it crashes at this part. That's the thing with rubber banding. It gets worse when in one-on-one races. If it's a race against 3 other racers, it's just as bad. By race to 12, it's gonna get difficult and even unfair, coupled with the sudden 90-degree corners the tracks have. That's why Speedbreaker is your friend in the later stages. At least traffic isn't as much of a big issue, but it's still an annoyance. They're quite lighter, meaning you won't get stuff like that. Instead, you get stuff like this. I'm pretty sure I killed that guy. That doesn't mean the madness is over. There are bigger and meaner traffic around here, like news vans, garbage trucks, and the dreaded semis that instantly stop you. How am I not dead? Much like in Underground 2, it has an open world, of course. I may be very biased, but I think this is way more memorable than Bayview or even Palmont City. I know from the back of my head what and where the locations are, like the abandoned docks, the golf course, the drains, and the goddamn hospital and prison with these cuts from the top. God damn, I love these. It makes for some silly moments, more so if you have cinematic camera off. No wonder I get sad whenever some tracks close the bottom half of the hospital cut, or even both of them. Despite the memorable map, I only free roam whenever I get to a car lot, part shop, or do pursuit chases, which is most of the time. Otherwise, let's just press down the D-pad and select the racers, just to be safe. Speaking of the car lot, there's only 33 cars you can buy, 37 total in the standard game, and 39 if you have the Black Edition. Not only has the tuner cars, some lifted from the previous game, but it also has the return of the exotic cars, like Lamborghini, Porsche, Aston Martin, Renault. Well, it's exotic to Americans these days, and of course the Beamer. There's actually two versions of the M3 GTR, the race one and the road-going one, which in the standard version is only ever used by the opponents. Please don't tease me, game. There's also a few questionable choices, like the Punto, which I already mentioned, a box standard Audi A4 and not the S4, the same two Monaros, which none of them are Holden branded, and the standard CTS. Oh, not the V version? Really? The GM only sold package deals like Audi at that time? I'll take it regardless. In the Black Edition, there's the standard M3 GTR and the classic first gen Camaro, which you can get it in career mode, which is a damn shame. You might think the standard version of the game doesn't have the files, but nope. If you use something like extra options, you can actually get the cars plus the pre-tuned ones on the normal version since it's in the files, even in the 360 version which lacks the Black Edition. And this is why I hate collector's editions. Every viable car can be customized from body kits, hoods, wheels, paint, vinyls, the works. Unlike in UG2, it's been really streamlined. You can only put one vinyl in your car, cars are still based on sets of pallets, no audio equipment, no neons or carbon body kits, no spinners, thank god, no custom pipes, let me save you the trouble. Most of the parts introduced in underground games aren't here. Also, I can't put black set vinyls outside of modding, but it can sometimes look off to most cars, so eh. It would have been a shame, but I'm really okay with this. Since this is a more mature game, you wouldn't expect some fancy ass looking wheels like this driving around town here, huh? Except you do. The randomized AI cars look like a mess sometimes. Holy hell! The AI names aren't much better. Some have standard names, but then there's stupid ones like High Roller, Snail, Lightning, Gears, Asphalt, and, no joke, Criminal. Freaking Criminal! Yeah, that totally checks out. This is the part where I talk about the rest of the stupid plot. After visiting your first safe house, there isn't any more cutscenes other than the introductions, Mia giving you this advice to check your rap sheet, and the cutscene before the climactic chase. Other than that, most of the plot points are given via SMS messages, sponsored by Singular. The plot replacement is still as rampant as ever. Anyways, Raj and Mia gives you tips. Raj is suspicious of Mia, raises her moxie from time to time.
Heard you're back in, I hope you enjoyed your vacation. Maybe I should call you sweetheart now, huh? Glad to see you're a sucker for punishment though, and by the way, thanks for the ride.
Degrade me more, daddy. Later on, people suspect you're working for the cops, running misgender someone.
You think beating him was easy?
Cross crosses in, getting more upset about you.
Hello. I'm getting tired of cutting you slack.
Razor puts you to Heat 5, I hate this plot structure. Sure, it saves on budget and it has voice acting in them, but it's really boring. After that whole bullcrap, you finally confront Razor in a 5-race extravaganza. Hold your horses, my hard drive cannot hold that much.
Ready to donate another car to the Razor Fund, baby?
After the final race, you're about to get your car, but Razor refuses to give you the keys. Then Mia beats him, and it turns out she is a pig! Wow, I didn't know I was friends with Cam. You know what? In the spirit of the holidays, I'm not doing a political joke, so... I didn't know I was friends with Chase Lynn. Then you make your escape just as Cross arrives at the scene.
I want every single unit after the guy.
Everyone?
Everyone!
Give this man a BAFTA, better than old man. And now you're running away from the law at Heat goddamn 6. At least it's not Heat 7 where it's just SUVs chasing you. After 5 minutes, Mia calls you that the exit from the city is open, so you try reaching there and, with enough speed, you successfully evade the cops, and eventually get to Palm City, only for your ride to be totaled later on. Damn, all that for nothing. Ah shoot, was I saying too much? It's a rather stupid plot, but like any other schlocky action trash, you wouldn't care much. You're only here for the racing. Carbon did it a bit better, but that still wouldn't save it from the mediocrity. For graphics, it's too brown! Its filter poured over it is rather drab and depressing. It only gets better during the evenings though. Now that is really gorgeous. Of course, you can disable the filter in the PC version and it does look better, even more so with texture mods. Nonetheless, I'm fond of them in general. I just don't like how the cars look way glossier than they should. I first played on the PS2 and it still looks just as good. It's downgraded of course, but at least it doesn't have the dreaded motion blur. God, I love the engine sounds. Yeah, the Beamer has a nice song, but I'm a rotary gal, so this fully tuned sound pleases me. Although it reminds me of that darn Miata from the Gran Turismo games. I don't like this. The police shadow makes a return, and it's just as good as the cop chases. Unlike previous games, while it doesn't overlap, the shadow stops the currently playing once when it plays another. It's hard to explain, so here's an example you'll understand. There's an issue where sometimes a roadblock warning message plays after you cross one, and the Spanish version doesn't have the make or model descriptions unless you go through the challenge series. But I don't mind. I just wish I have the goddamn English version. The soundtrack is mostly composed of licensed songs, including the aforementioned Chuck D and Styles of Beyond, but there's also The Prodigy, rest in peace, Sonic X, Mastodon, Avenged Sevenfold, Bullet for My Valentine, Jamiroquai, for some reason, and I don't know who this guy is. Who are you again?
I am riding, no breaking me. I am riding, no shaking me.
Thanks, got that clear. There's also original songs composed by Paul Linfold for the cop chases, and they sound really amazing. They're also interactive depending on the intensity of the pursuit. There's also 2 slower-paced remix versions of those by Chris Verena, and it's just as good. Most Wanted is a rather memorable game to me, unlike Most Wanted. It's really great, even if it can be monotonous, and the fact that you might race on the tracks a few times, but it's not as dreadful to progress as Underground 2. Despite its problems, I still recommend it. For modding, you're in luck. There's something called the mod loader, which you can easily replace cars without replacing the original files. You just need to write this command line if you want to see them. Later on, there's the Unlimited mod, which actually adds cars a la Hot Pursuit and Hot Stakes. Just be warned that you cannot use it alongside the mod loader. There are loads of mods and gameplay changes like the usual texture mods, extra options, and the custom music player. The last one is rather difficult to set up and is rather prone to crashes, but it works. So yeah, Most Wanted. It was the peak of the series, and then Common was released, which led to a debate whether this or that is the last good NFS game. Here's my take, the 3DO original is the last good Need for Speed game. Oh great, now I'm the most wanted criminal.